Welcome back to Aussie Visa and Immigration. Today we're breaking down the November 2025 Subclass 189 invitation round, and this one has caused more emotional chaos than when someone realizes their skill select EOI has been sitting untouched longer than the leftovers in their fridge. Whether you received an invitation, missed it again, or are simply trying to understand why skill select behaves like an unpredictable weather forecast, this update will help make things clearer. The November round has turned out to be one of the more interesting rounds of the year. Not because the Australian government suddenly became generous, but because they finally seem to be showing a pattern. And if you've been following Australia PR for a while, you know that a consistent pattern in skill select is about as rare as someone submitting an EOI without checking their points 10 times. Even though the government hasn't returned to the massive invitation rounds of the past, and despite not releasing the full official list, it's obvious that they opened the tap slightly more this time. The result is that more occupations finally received invitations. Not all of them, of course. Some occupations still feel like they are on the waiting list of the waiting list. But progress is progress, and that matters. Now let us talk about points. The one thing that causes the biggest emotional reactions among applicants. When someone says they have 85 points, the response is usually pure admiration. When someone admits they have 65 points for 189, their friends gently encourage them to consider state nomination. Points tell the entire story for Subclass 189, and this round confirmed that the minimum invitation points remained at 65. It's almost as if the government is experimenting each round to see how low they can go without causing panic. Of course, cutoffs varied depending on occupation. The trend was simple: higher points for popular and competitive fields, and more reasonable points in areas where Australia is facing genuine shortages. Engineering continues to be competitive, but this round made it clear that the government is committed to attracting engineers where shortages are real, with points ranging from the mid-70s up to 100. For IT professionals, the situation was predictable. Points remained high, the competition remained tough, but at least the government isn't pretending that IT professionals grow on trees. Healthcare occupations once again performed strongly. Nurses, doctors, and allied health workers saw consistent invitations, mostly between 75 and 85 points. Healthcare remains the favorite child of Australia's migration system. Many applicants were genuinely surprised that the government released the invitation round on time this month. Usually, waiting for an invitation round feels like waiting for a mystery parcel. You don't know if it will arrive today, tomorrow, next month, or never. But November's round arrived smoothly. And while one round tells you what just happened, it's only through multiple rounds that you see where things are heading. Right now, the direction appears cautiously optimistic. Australia is managing its migration program differently compared to previous years. Instead of sending out massive waves of invitations and hoping for the best, they're issuing smaller, targeted rounds. For applicants, this means two things: patience and points, and sometimes both at the exact same time. Occupations facing chronic shortages continue moving forward predictably. Healthcare, engineering, and certain science fields are receiving invitations consistently. Trades remain steady. Accountants continue to need strong points, strong experience, and probably a strong prayer. But overall, the system is becoming slightly more predictable, which is encouraging. Now, let's talk about the people who missed out. Every invitation round has a group of applicants going through all 5 stages of grief in a single afternoon. If you didn't receive an invitation this round, remember this: Skill Select is not judging your worth as a human being. It is simply an algorithm doing its best impression of a selective university admissions officer. Missing one round doesn't mean you're out of the race. Many applicants receive invitations after months of inactivity. The key is understanding the trend and adjusting your strategy. Should you update your EOI? If anything changed, definitely yes. If nothing changed, update it anyway. Half the community updates their EOI every 2 weeks just to feel productive, and honestly, it doesn't hurt. Should you consider state nomination? Absolutely. The 189 visa is beautiful, but it is also selective. Subclass 190 and 491 remain excellent, often faster pathways. And let's be honest, most people who get state nomination end up falling in love with the state that invites them, except when they chose a state based only on the weather and then arrived to realize that the marketing photos were lying. Now let's talk strategy for applicants preparing for the next round. Based on this month's results, several trends are clear. First, points will continue to matter. Nobody is getting a 189 invitation with low points unless their occupation is so desperately needed that the government panics. If there's any possible way to increase your points, do it. Take your English test again. Recalculate your experience. Check if you can claim partner points. If your partner refuses to take the English test, at least joke about it together. Second, keep your documents and assessments completely up to date. Many applicants miss out because they don't realize their skills assessment is about to expire, or they forget to update their EOI after changing jobs. There is nothing more frustrating than waiting for months only to realize your EOI was outdated the whole time. Third, follow trends, not rumors. Every time an invitation round is published, the internet fills with speculation, theories, predictions, assumptions, and sometimes pure imagination. Some theories are impressive, while others sound like someone tried predicting the future with tea leaves. Stick to official results and long-term patterns. They're boring, but they're reliable. Fourth, always keep multiple pathways open. The smartest applicants never rely on a single visa category. They keep 189, 190, and 491 pathways open at the same time. Think of them as 3 doors. You might prefer one door, but if another door opens first, you walk through it. Coming back to the November round, let's talk about why it matters. This round shows that Australia isn't slowing down its hunt for skilled migrants. If anything, the government is becoming more precise. Many countries across the world are tightening their migration systems, but Australia continues to attract talent because the labor shortages are not disappearing. Healthcare shortages are growing. Engineering shortages are expanding. Tech shortages continue. The economy still needs skilled workers, and migration remains essential. This round also showed that the government is distributing invitations more evenly than last year. That's a very positive sign. It means more occupations are getting opportunities rather than a small number of fields dominating each round. Overall, the November 2025 invitation round brought progress, predictability, and a balanced distribution of invitations. It rewarded high points, prioritized genuine shortages, and gave hope to many applicants who have been waiting patiently. But it also reminded everyone that the 189 visa remains highly competitive. You cannot rely on luck. You need strategy, updated documents, realistic expectations, and a lot of patience. And maybe a hobby to keep yourself sane while waiting, because refreshing the skill select page is not a hobby. If you received an invitation this round, congratulations. You made it through one of the most competitive systems in the world. If you didn't, don't lose hope. Many people receive their invitation when they least expect it. The next round may be yours. If you found this update helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Aussie Visa and Immigration, and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates on Australia immigration and visa news.